Good morning, everybody. Here we are on Wednesday. I'm assuming you can see my friend here. Oh, hard trying to find the right spot for him. And for me. So, the Buddha, this is my Buddha. I have many of them. But, yes, you can understand the blue speaks to me. But isn't he beautiful? And he kind of radiates naturally. So we're going to have the Buddha come speak. So I thought it might be more powerful for you to be able to see the Buddha. All right. So let's say hello to those who are here. As we have Kaval and Chase and Barbara Ward and Carol and that's who arrived so far. So I wanted to let's start and get our energy set. Here's Marby. Good morning, Marby. And then I wanted to talk a little bit about the Buddha. I am not a Buddhist. Everybody asked me that. And I'm going to share with you why the Buddha happens to be a big part of who I am. And yet, I do not practice Buddhism. So, I'm a spiritual teacher. So, let's call in Mother and Father into our hearts. And he's telling me he is very welcome to share the love and giving as he is receiving the love from your hearts. Good. We'll call on the phylums of the angels and all the ascended masters, whoever has time to stop by, and to welcome universal beings who are on their path, living their life in light. And they are certainly welcome to join us. So we'll say our mantra. I am the soul. I am the light divine. I am love. I am will. I am fixed design. It is quite powerful because he's expanding here from within the statue. And that isn't usually how I sense him, so quite beautiful. All right. So, there is only one Buddha, and that Buddha, as long as memories that can exist about that Buddha, is the Buddha. And this is Siddhartha Gautama. So, for now, and there are other profound people as they work on their reality of their life. That is what his teachings is, to live a path of spiritual discipline. Now, in Buddhism, there is a certain path to follow. I choose to follow a spiritual path, which you could say they could be the same, but they do look different. There are different requirements for a Buddhist. So they teach about the four truths. And as I speak to you about them in our language, understanding, you'll see how similar they are to how our lives are. First truth is stressfulness. Certainly they would use a different word, but I wanted to keep this lecture kind of so you would understand. So the truth is that stressfulness brings you into separation, which we all do live and understand that. And it is about stopping that from happening. Now, the next truth that they work on, we would call it glamour. In the old master tradition, it's called that for which you desire, which there's really no need for. And they call it a craving. Like most people crave money. And the truth in our world is the more you become in your truth, the more that money is not necessary, things will come to you. Okay? So the third thing, the third truth is then they spend time trying to figure out what causes stress, much as we would suggest to do. For us, it's always to know that everything that comes your way that feels uncomfortable, it's a lesson, and then you begin to embrace it, which takes away the separation. And finally, number 4 brings you to the Eightfold Path of Buddhism, which is a lot of different things, similar to different things that we do, but that's the difference. So each of us had choice to find our own way. The Buddha, for me, teaches me the peace, the harmony, the serenity, I would say is a great word to bring to you. I didn't have a thing for Buddha till when I was in Thailand. My husband was drawn to the Kuan Yin, and we went to Kuan Yin's temple, and there stood the Buddha next to her. And very powerful. And of course, we certainly went to the where the Emerald Buddha was in Bangkok when we were there. And it's amazing to see, because their tradition there is Buddhism. The people that come and are sitting in the energy of that experience. And he wears the same headdress as this Buddha does, the Emerald Buddha, but amazing, the love and the acceptance and forgiveness. So he is not a god, though, not like our God. It's Buddhism, it's a study. It's a choice to live a spiritual way. So it can be a part of that which we know and understand, but it isn't really the same. But he's a very, very gentle, powerful being, and he has reached nirvana, which people can reach nirvana, where this is just their truth and that's it. And he'll speak to you about enlightenment. What people don't always know is that you will reach enlightenment before you reach your ascension. So then what is enlightenment? It is when you awake. When you truly awake to who you are, why you are, how you got to where you are, and know who it is that you sit as. So there's an awakening that happens once you have released your karma, preventing you from being able to see beyond the fog of the illusion. And in that moment, you become enlightened, and you would say to me, "Oh, TheoSophia, of course I always knew." Because at that moment, the fog will be gone, and you will be able to see it all and understand it all. So, so if any of you have any questions, I will do my best to answer them. I am more simply an experience of enjoying the energy of Buddha, and I do not worship Buddha. That's why I have this. It's to have him as a friend, to be, and to know I can reach to that energy, and it brings forgiveness and serenity. There have been times in my life where it could have been a choice of total breakdown. And instead, if I call to God and to Buddha, and the blue, this light blue light of serenity comes to me and has me see it in a whole new light. And that's a lot of what our journey for all of us is about, is beginning to be able to see things differently than they are. We see things in the stress and the separation. And we crave for that which is the opposite. And what we don't understand always is there is a balance, there is a unification, that as you take the figure eight from the stress to the craving, there will be a balance, and it all will come into harmony. So, let me see if someone else has come here. Shailene, good morning. Accident that she found me today. Very good. All right. So, let's let Buddha speak for a little bit. He and I haven't done this before while we do speak to each other. So, let's, yes, Chase wrote that one of the quotes of Buddha she shared with her family is to be kind is more important than to be right. And Buddhism is a lot about kindness. And I think I shared with you the one friend from the gentleman who brought words of God in a song. And she just wanted to be kind. You know, she worked a lot with the Yogananda people. So there's so many places that you can turn to find the beauty of life versus the stress of life. So if any of you are there and finding yourselves in stress, then you must, or could, should I say, since you're a choice, choose to the Buddha, choose to Babaji, choose to Saint Germain, bring the violet flame, to bring about a release and a different choice in how you see the world and how you see the situation. Situations only exist because you're growing. You have chosen in this life to overcome and to heal certain situations. Like I mentioned often, your blueprint is set. So when things keep happening and things keep happening, it is beginning to be able to see Why? That's why they look at the beginning. What caused this? What thought process? What action? What scenario has brought this into my life? You see. So I'm going to surrender because he's somewhat talking through me now. So I might as well let you enjoy it. But welcome to coming, Shailene, and everybody. Yes, I hear someone asking of my friend, the Dalai Lama. And no, he is not the Buddha, but he is a great being of study of Buddhism. And if you are ever offered the opportunity to sit within his field, you will understand the peace and the expansion of light. 10,000 suns times 10,000 suns that you will feel and have reception of within who you are. But I, as a young man, had been kept separately by my father from those things which help you grow, until one day when I felt something wasn't right. And I released myself from where I was and walked into the city. And first I saw a poor man and wondered, what is this about? And then I saw a diseased man, and my heart jumped further from my chest. And then I saw an angered man. My urgency from deep inside was to help. He who had always been by my side shared with me my father's belief. So it was quickly I left to find how I help people to find their way. And for many years, I created a great stress for my life. You yourself may be doing similar without being realized of that. I either did not eat or eat little. I did not rest or sleep at all. Meditating the entire time. Was I growing? Yes. Was I becoming? Yes. But had I found the way? No. And then, gently one day, I heard the music of a being upon a boat. And I realized, if you are strung too tight, it is not the way. If you are strung too loose, it is not the way. There needed to be balance. So for each of you in this moment, which way are you? Are you strung too tight? Are you too carefree? Are you just allowing whatever to be? And how do you choose, or would you choose, to find a balance? It is through discipline. And I know, I have heard through the years and seen the reaction of the necessity for discipline. But it is not the discipline that a small child learns from a apparent is that it is a discipline that comes from a deep love of attainment, of following a passion, of achievement. You see? It isn't that a child is born and immediately I say, perhaps there are a few. As TheoSophia reminds me of one she met that came into this world as a Buddha. But let's remember, a Buddha is not a god. You see, it is one who has attained a level of enlightenment and great gifts. You see, great gifts of insight, of kindness and loving, and the radiance of an immense amount of light quotient that moves through them and touches the hearts of many people. There would be no stress. There would be no craving. There would be acceptance. Yes. And in this journey, there is that word trust. That perhaps the journey you're on, you find difficulty with the word trust. Who is there that you are to trust? I say to you, from the love that's held deep within my heart, you can trust your God and Mother. You can trust those who are beyond all others. Take a breath of that truth and let it awaken the passion deep inside you, perhaps that has been hidden for many years. And yes, I hear the comment, what if you don't trust God? Then you must start to look at the cause of why. And as you do, you will have an understanding evolve. And you will look at why and where were you and what had happened. Where was the fog? For you know all the masters, we see the fog is illusion, not allowing the perception of the third eye to truly let you see the truth. Whether it be about yourself or about your world or your situation. One moment. We did not used to have screw-on lids. So, where were we? Fog. Yes, fog tends to lie upon the energy of the water, that which would be assumed of its clarity. And yet, some of the greatest darkness lies within the water, hovers, awaiting. Yes, this is true. So I hear yet another question coming. Well, what does Buddha and the energy of the Buddha do for me? Well, my friends, it is the understanding of the essence of the Buddha and the action of discipline and quietness and kindness, the repetition of mantras, and feeling the energy they bring into the cellular structure of who you are. For it is not that the Buddha has great gifts in the way that the energy of God does, but it has the ability to help you feel illumined, awake, enlightened. And that is through study. Yes. That is through curious and wanting to know more. Curiosity and wondering why. And as you begin to look and understand the love where all things come from, there is peace. So, yes. So, write to me a question if you have one. And what is it that I do? This is a curious question. I sit in the well of the love of my heart, and I share, I expand, I embrace, I offer serenity to those who request it. I am an action of movement. And it is through the attainment of Buddha, through the enlightenment, there is the capacity of seeing the truth in all things. Why? The how? The depth of death that a soul can bring to oneself without dying. And yet I know of the release of the festival of living that can replace it through loving. Like I said, life is not always as where you are it is seen to be. It is when the eyes become clear and the channel illumines and you have become awake, enlightened. The journey will shift and you will walk with a secure foot, understanding with a strong hand of kindness and love, and with a throat of gentleness and kindness, and with the all-seeing eye. Be who you are meant to be. You see? I'm being asked about incense, and through my years of time, I have experienced many. And I am here to say to you, the experience of the light of the love you hold is simply just as sufficient. For it is when you begin to feel the essence of that love and begin to feel it moving in the radiance of the different molecules that create different colors, that you will have confidence in your light and in your love. And you will be gentle. a gentle soul. And there will be respect, for you will know a different level of respect of the self, for you will be free. So now I am being asked, do I believe in God? And I say to you, yes, I do. I wouldn't be here today without God and Mother. For we are family, you see, just as you are family. We are all part of the whole. All of us, part of the whole. Good morning, Julie. I send blessings to the family that you spend time with and some serenity for you and all who choose it. So for a moment, those of you who are here with me, let's open our hearts and share the love we hold. Let's share it to the level that we reach serenity together. The gratitude of knowing that there is such a thing that exists for us to retreat to deep within ourselves. The capacity of a wholeness that's touchable. And I know from each of you, you have seen times that the monks chant together, and you might wonder why. It is the way that it has been chosen to deepen access to the depth of the love within themselves. The depth of the love within themselves. You go from believing you're simply the speck you see in the mirror, and you grow to learn that you are beyond the universe. And in this, you understand life is beyond that which you know. In this moment. But the journey of discovery brings you truth. So wherever it is that you are, it is beautiful. It is absolutely beautiful. And wherever it is that you are, there is love. And wherever it is, choose to give back, to be kind and gentle to yourself and to all others. Ah, ooh, ooh, ooh. I see we sent off many things. Car sounds, inside sounds, and you must fast then with something inside you activated. So, I'm grateful to sit with you on this day. Perhaps another time, another day. For I am the Buddha, and you are light. Thank you. Thank you. Love from the depth of my heart to each of you. Many blessings. Yabashi. The Buddha. Yet but one more piece of growing, if you choose. You're very welcome, Julie. It was interesting that when he really opened his heart, everything went crazy. And then he quieted. So, may you all have a great weekend. And may you have contemplative moments about today. It certainly does. She says that the heart love moves energy for sure. Yes. So, from me and the Buddha, we wish you much light and many blessings to know peace and kindness this weekend, and to have new contemplative thoughts about life. So Barbara Ward says, thank you. I can only describe this experience as deep, profound serenity. I find it interesting that the energy set off so many things. I think, and who am I? It was to let you know how real it really is. Thank you, Chase. Thank you, Shane. There's never any mistakes. And Marby says thank you. And Dee Lamb, thank you for coming. I hope you come back again. We meet on Monday, and we do the Eye of Horus healing. And I don't know if I told you, but before Jeannie left, I had reminded her to remember to call on Jesus if there was a storm, that he would calm the waters. So I received her first email yesterday, and apparently there was a terrible storm. And she called in Jesus, and he calmed the waters enough for them to get where they needed to get picked up and taken away to where they were safe. So, thank you. Julie loves my Blu-ray Buddha. He's not really a Blu-ray. He is blue. I know there are blue medicine Buddhas, and yet he is not that. He is Siddhartha. So anyway, you're ever in a storm, and you need to calm the storm, call in Jesus, and he will bring it for you. And thank you, Cavell. Invigorating. What an interesting word. He was very beautiful, and I'm very grateful for the time I spent with him. He was simply trying to sing you a message. All right. May this be a light and a giggle in your weekend. Many blessings and a deep serenity in your heart.